From the Quaid-e-Azam University from Islamabad, Dr. Zafar Nawaz Jaspal joins us here on Press TV. The topic of discussion is U.S.-Pakistan tensions. Doctor, welcome to the program. First of all, how do you see comments of this sort, rhetorical if not anything, and what signals are you getting for the direction of U.S.-Pakistani ties, taking into account all that has happened in the past few months?
I think that these signals are starting to indicate that the honeymoon period between Pakistan and the United States, which was due to the war on terrorism, is nearer to end. The reason behind it is that Americans are going out, they wanted to make Pakistan a scapegoat. Pakistan is not ready to become a scapegoat, so Pakistan's resilience to oppose their perceptions, their dictations, has generated this environment. In this context, we have seen in the last 1 week too much rhetoric from both sides. But I am looking that, of course, the new paradigm is coming, but at the same time, in this relationship, the tension will prevail.
And if you were in the Pakistani political administration, how would you react to this statement? Talking of cutting financial aid is one thing, but even mentioning military threats and military action is on a whole different level.
I think that these statements have been taken very seriously in Pakistan, both by military and political ruling elite of Pakistan. If you see the military establishment, yesterday they have emergency corps commanders meeting, a day long, in which they have expressed their resolve to react any kind of action against Pakistan. That means that they are perceiving some kind of a intervention from the American side or military adventurism from the US, NATO or Assad. But on the other side, if you see the political forces of Pakistan are also on the same page. Prime Minister contacted the political parties, and in a reaction all the political parties have given him assurance to join his all-parties conference to chalk out a joint strategy. These are the issues which we find within the state. There is some kind of solidarity on this issue. Yes, you rightly pointed out cut of aid, but frankly in Pakistan we people feel less so. You can say victim of this aid when it will be cut, because if you see American aid, there is a general perception in Pakistan is that 50% never reach, and still under the Kerry Lugar bill what they were supposed to give Pakistan, they failed to, you can say, transfer to Pakistan. So by that way aid is not becoming a very important tool, but that is the, I think, reasoning that Pakistan has become very firm on its stance.
And of course, the last question is, what's next? Where do you see the relations between the two countries heading?
I think that the mistrust will continue, but the Americans now received very clear message from Pakistan. The Americans will not cut their relation with Pakistan, because if you see the indicator, number one is that their CENTCOM chiefs visit day before yesterday in Islamabad. And secondly, if you see the statement which said that ISI in glove with the Haqqani network, it was their outgoing admiral who will be retiring on 3-4 days afterwards. So new admiral, chairman, joint chief staff is coming up. And third important in this connection is that Americans are too much dependent on Pakistan. They were not expecting from Pakistan this kind of the strict bilateralism. For instance, as we went for the Iran, as we went with the China, as we had started looking with our own perceptions about the Afghanistan. So of course it was a shock for the Americans after the 1 decade of connectivity, but now they will start learning, and with that perspective I'm confident that Americans will also mend their fair, you can say, fences. But here one thing we cannot ignore on both sides, that is very important deterministic factor, and that is the Americans, this year is their election year, general election year. So certainly these senators, these House of Representative members, including Obama administration, they will be raising rhetorical pressure statement for the political consumption in their own constituencies. But on the other side, I think rationality will prevail and things will continue. But of course, with a lot of caution, and Pakistan will be acting with more conscience and more firmness.
Professor of Quaid-e-Azam University from Islamabad, Dr. Zafar Nawaz Jaspal, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us here on Press TV.